You think you're a good person. You pride yourself on it. You're kind. You're understanding. You don't make waves. You keep the peace. When someone asks for a favor, you say yes, even when you want to say no. When someone disrespects you, you let it slide because you don't want to be difficult. You smile when you're angry. You apologize when you've done nothing wrong. You bend so far backward for people who wouldn't bend an inch for you. And you tell yourself this is virtue. This is what good people do. But let me show you what you actually are. You are prey. You are a domesticated animal. You have been trained to be harmless, and in becoming harmless, you have become powerless. Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who saw power in its rawest form, who watched empires rise and fall, who understood human nature without the comforting lies we wrap around it. He would look at you, and he would not see a good person. He would see a victim. He would see someone who has confused weakness for morality, someone who has been psychologically neutered and told it was enlightenment. This is not about becoming cruel. This is about waking up to a reality you have been avoiding your entire life. Niceness is not the same as kindness. Kindness is strength, offered to those who deserve it. Niceness is weakness offered to anyone who asks. Kindness has boundaries. Niceness has none. Kindness can say no. Niceness is terrified of the world, and that terror, that inability to disappoint, to set limits, to prioritize yourself, is what is destroying you. Look at your life. Really look at it. How many times have you said yes when everything inside you was screaming no? How many times have you let someone walk over you because confrontation felt too uncomfortable? How many relationships, friendships, jobs have drained you because you were too nice to set a boundary? You know the answer. You've been keeping count. You just haven't wanted to admit what it means. It means you are being used, and the worst part is, you are complicit in it. You have trained the people around you that you are someone who can be taken from without consequence. You are a resource to be exploited, and they do it without guilt, because you make it so easy. You smile, you accommodate, you never push back. So why would they stop? Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn how not to be good, not that he must be evil, but that he must be willing to act against virtue when necessary. This sounds monstrous to modern ears. We have been conditioned to believe that goodness is the highest aim, but Machiavelli was not writing for saints. He was writing for people who wanted to survive in a world of wolves. And you are living in that same world. You just refuse to see it. The people around you are not evil, but they are self-interested. They will take what you give, and if you give everything, they will take everything. Not because they hate you, but because this is what humans do. We test boundaries. We push until we meet resistance. And if we never meet resistance, we keep pushing. This is not malice. This is nature. And your niceness is an invitation. It is a signal that says, I have no boundaries. I will tolerate anything. Use me. There is a concept in psychology called the nice guy syndrome. It describes men and women who have built their entire identity around being liked. They believe that if they are just nice enough, people will love them, respect them, choose them. But the opposite happens. They are taken for granted. They are kept around as emotional support, as the backup plan, as the safe option. But they are never the first choice, because niceness is not attractive. It is not magnetic. It is forgettable. Attraction, respect, power. These do not come from being agreeable. They come from being formidable, from having edges, from being someone who can and will say no, from being someone who is a little bit dangerous. Not physically dangerous, psychologically dangerous. Someone who will not absorb your disrespect with a smile. Someone who will walk away without explanation. Someone who values their peace more than your approval. Machiavelli advised that it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. This does not mean you should terrorize people. It means that respect born from a healthy fear of consequences is more reliable than affection. Affection is fickle. It changes with mood and circumstance, but respect, earned through consistency and boundaries, that is stable. When people know you will not tolerate certain behaviors, they adjust, not out of love, but out of necessity. And that adjustment protects you. Your niceness is not protecting you, it is exposing you. Every time you let something slide, you are teaching people that your boundaries are negotiable. And if your boundaries are negotiable, you have no boundaries, you have suggestions, and suggestions are ignored. Here is what happens when you are too nice. Someone disrespects you, you feel the sting of it, but you do not react. You tell yourself it is not worth the fight, that you are being the bigger person, that mature people let things go. So you smile, you move on, and the person who disrespected you learns something important. They learn that you are safe to disrespect, that there is no cost. So they do it again and again, and each time it gets worse because you have set the precedent that you will not defend yourself. And then one day, you break, you explode, you say something harsh, you finally push back, and everyone looks at you like you are the problem. Where is this coming from? You were always so nice. What happened to you? And you realize the trap. You trained them to expect your submission, and now that you are refusing to submit, you are the villain. This is the curse of the nice person. You cannot win. If you stay nice, you are used. If you stop being nice, you are punished. So what is the answer? You stop caring what they think. You stop performing for their approval. You accept that some people will call you difficult, selfish, cold, and you let them, because their opinion of you is not your responsibility. Machiavelli understood that a prince cannot be loved by everyone. If you try to please everyone, you will be despised by everyone, because people do not respect someone who has no backbone. They might like you in the way they like a pet, something safe, something non-threatening, but they do not respect you, and without respect, you have no power. Power is not about dominating others. It is about having control over your own life. It is the ability to say no without guilt, to walk away from situations that do not serve you, to prioritize your time, your energy, your peace. And the nice person has none of this. They are a servant to everyone else's needs. They live in a constant state of depletion because they are always giving and never receiving. You might argue that giving is noble, that selflessness is the highest virtue. But let me ask you this: if you give until you have nothing left, what good are you to anyone? If you burn yourself out being nice, you become bitter, you become resentful, and that bitterness poisons everything. The people you were trying to help, you start to hate them, because deep down, you know they took advantage of you, and you let them. True kindness requires strength. It requires the ability to give when it is your choice, not when it is demanded of you. It requires boundaries that protect your capacity to care. But niceness has no strength. It is compliance masquerading as compassion. It is fear disguised as virtue. Here is a simple test. Think of the last time you said yes to something you did not want to do. Why did you say yes? Was it because you genuinely wanted to help, or was it because you were afraid of how the person would react if you said no? If it is the latter, you are not being nice, you are being controlled. You are allowing someone else's potential disappointment to dictate your choices, and that is not generosity. That is cowardice. Machiavelli wrote that the path to hell is paved with good intentions. You intend to be kind, you intend to be helpful, but your niceness enables bad behavior. It allows people to avoid consequences. It teaches them that they can treat you poorly, and you will still be there. And in doing so, you are not helping them. You are making them worse. You are making yourself worse. Because every time you betray your own needs for someone else, you lose a piece of yourself. The nice person believes that if they sacrifice enough, eventually people will see their worth. Eventually, their goodness will be rewarded. But It never is, because the world does not reward sacrifice. It rewards results. It rewards people who know what they want and go after it without apologizing. The nice person is always apologizing for wanting, for needing, for existing in a way that might inconvenience someone else. Stop apologizing. Stop making yourself small so others feel big. You are not here to be a supporting character in someone else's story. You are here to build your own life, and building requires that you stop giving pieces of yourself away to people who do not value them. Machiavelli would tell you to become strategic with your compassion. Do not give to everyone. Give to those who reciprocate. Give to those who respect you. Give to those who would do the same for you. And to everyone else, you owe nothing. Not your time, not your energy, not your peace. Nothing. This will feel selfish at first. You will feel guilty. You will hear voices in your head telling you that you are being a bad person. Those voices are the chains. They are the conditioning. They are the programming that was installed in you to keep you compliant. You must break those chains. You must silence those voices. And you do that by acting against them, by saying no, by walking away, by choosing yourself. Watch what happens when you do this. Some people will be angry. They will accuse you of changing, of becoming cold, of not caring anymore. Let them. Their anger is proof that they were benefiting from your niceness. And now that the benefit is gone, they are upset. This is not your problem. Their comfort is not your responsibility. But some people, the ones worth keeping, will respect you more. They will see that you have boundaries, that you value yourself, and that self-respect is magnetic. It draws people who are secure, who do not need you to shrink, who appreciate strength. Machiavelli wrote that one must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. You have been a sheep, and the wolves have been eating you alive. It is time to grow teeth, not to attack, but to defend, not to harm, but to protect what is yours. Your time is yours, your energy is yours, your peace is yours. And anyone who demands you give these things without offering anything in return is not your friend. They are a parasite, and you have been a willing host. Stop being nice. Start being selective. Start being intentional. Start being someone who people approach with caution, because they know you cannot be taken advantage of. Start being someone who commands respect, not through aggression, but through unwavering self-respect. This is not about becoming a monster. This is about refusing to be a victim. The world is full of people who will try to use you. Your job is not to let them. Your job is to build a life where your boundaries are so strong that users cannot get close enough to drain you. Machiavelli spent his life studying power, and he learned one thing above all else. Power is not given, it is taken. And if you wait for permission to prioritize yourself, you will wait forever. No one is going to give you permission to stop being nice. You have to take it. So take it. Stop waiting. Stop hoping that if you are just a little nicer, people will finally see your value. They see it. They just do not care, because you have taught them. They do not have to. You have made yourself abundant, and abundant things are not valued, become scarce, become expensive, become someone whose time and attention are earned, not assumed. And watch how quickly the dynamics shift. Watch how people who took you for granted suddenly start to appreciate you, not because you changed who you are, but because you changed what you tolerate. This is the Machiavellian path. It is not easy, it is not comfortable, but it is the only path to power. And power, in this context, is freedom. The freedom to live on your terms, to say no without guilt, to walk away without explanation, to be respected, even if you are not liked. If you are tired of being the nice one, the safe one, the one who everyone uses and no one values, then this is your moment. Stop performing, stop pleasing, stop being nice, and start being free. Subscribe if you are ready to cut the strings, but not because I told you to, because you are done being a puppet.